I want you to look back, really look back. Scan the story of your life, not just the obvious moments, and you might find that at the root of your crisis is a pattern, a conditioning so subtle, so constant that it became invisible. And being a mirror means that your worth has been measured not by who you are, but by how well you reflect back what other people need to see. From a young age, you learned how to absorb. You learned how to adapt. You learned how to reflect back smiles, validation, acceptance, agreement, ease. You became skilled in the art of disappearing without physically leaving. Your body stayed, your mouth smiled, your hands helped, but your spirit, it stepped aside, made room, allowed other people's needs, emotions, identities to take center stage. Because that's what mirrors do. And the better you were at it, the more praise you received. The more people said you were good, well-behaved, helpful, mature. The more they leaned on you, depended on you, confided in you. Not because they knew you, but because they knew you would reflect back what they needed. When someone needed calm, you quieted your own chaos. When someone needed reassurance, you buried your doubt. When someone needed admiration, you hid your brilliance. When someone needed to feel powerful, you made yourself small. You learned how to shine other people's light back at them so well that you forgot you had your own. That existing with needs, emotions, opinions, contradictions is too much, too complicated, too disruptive. So you stay glossy, polished, reflective. You smile even when you're breaking. You nod even when you disagree. You say, "I'm fine," even when you're barely holding on. And you become the safe space for everyone else while never having one yourself. Here's the thing no one tells you about being a mirror. It's lonely, achingly, exhaustingly lonely. Because when you're a mirror, people don't see you, they see their reflection. They see what they want to see, they see themselves. So even when you're surrounded by people, you feel invisible. Not because you're unlovable, but because you were never taught to be seen. You were taught to be useful. You were taught to be convenient. You were taught to be pleasing, but not whole. No one ever pulled you aside and said, "Hey, you're allowed to be more than what people want from you, you know?" So you kept reflecting, kept shape-shifting, kept calibrating your tone, your opinions, your presence to fit the emotional temperature of whoever stood in front of you. And maybe, just maybe, you started to notice when you disagreed, people pulled away. When you set a boundary, they got offended. When you showed emotion, they called you too sensitive. When you asked for something, they said you were selfish. So you took the hint. You dimmed again. You returned to being a mirror. Because at least then you were loved. At least then you were accepted. At least then it felt familiar, even if it didn't feel good. But let's pause here because this isn't about blame. This is about awareness. This is about finally realizing that the mirror that they taught you to become is not your identity. It was a mask, a method, a survival mechanism. And it worked for a while until it didn't. Until one day you looked in the mirror and saw nothing. No spark, no essence, just a reflection of who you were told to be, and the truth hit you hard. You spent your whole life trying to be loved for who you are, but no one knows who that is. Not even you. Because the real you, they are buried, hidden under years of adaptation, of reflexively adjusting your shape to avoid conflict, to keep the peace, to hold harmony. So let's unearth them. Let's dig. Let's pull them out from behind the glass. You were not born to be reflective. You were born to be radiant. You were born to take up space, to have needs, to express, to disrupt, to challenge, to inspire. You were not made to be agreeable. You were made to be alive. And that means stepping out of the mirror. That means learning to disappoint people, learning to say no, learning to sit with the discomfort of being misunderstood. It means choosing truth over likability, self-respect over people-pleasing, authenticity over approval. It means acknowledging that your worth is not determined by how comfortable you make other people feel, Because you're not a comfort blanket. You're a human being. You're not an emotional support sponge. You're not a shapeshifter, a peacemaker, a perfect reflection. You're a person. And being a person means being messy. It's loud, it's layered, it's filled with contradictions, emotions, needs, boundaries, wild dreams, sacred rage, deep tenderness. Being a person means allowing yourself to be fully known, even if that means being fully misunderstood. It means making peace with the fact that not everyone will approve of your wholeness, and doing it anyway. Yes. It means speaking even when your voice shakes, especially when your voice shakes. Saying yes when it's terrifying. Saying no when it's expected that you say yes. It means reclaiming the time you spent walking on eggshells, dimming your joy, postponing your healing. It means telling the truth to others and to yourself. It means walking away from mirrors that only reflect shame back at you. It means choosing people, places, and futures that don't just tolerate your complexity but celebrate it. And where do you start? You start with honesty. Honesty about who you are when no one is watching. Honesty about what you want, not what you were told to want. Honesty about what you believe, not what you were told to believe. You start by asking, who am I when I'm not performing? You start by letting the mirror crack, by letting people misunderstand you, by letting go of the compulsive need to explain yourself, by honoring the voice that whispers, I want more. You start by treating yourself like someone worth knowing, because you are. Not as a reflection, but as a person. And I know it's terrifying because stepping out of the mirror means stepping into visibility. It means risking rejection. It means watching people walk away who only stayed because you kept mirroring back their comfort. It means grieving the relationships that were built on your silence. But it also means freedom. It means creating relationships built on truth, not performance. It means finally being loved for who you are, not for how well you hide. It means remembering what it feels like to be alive. Not polished, not perfect, but real. So no, you weren't crazy. They loved the mirror, not the person. But now the mirror is cracking. And the person you are, they are finally coming home. And this time, they're not shrinking to fit anyone's expectations. You're not here to be manageable. You're not here to be soft for the sake of keeping the peace. You're here to be seen, to be known, to be whole. Because you were never just a mirror, you were and have always been the light. And now you burn, not just to reflect others, but to illuminate yourself. They wanted a reflection, you gave them your silence. Now, give yourself back your voice.